Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now we see Dwayne Haskins, the Ohio State Buckeye, in his second year in the National Football League, ready to lead this Washington offense.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Haskins in the Washington offense going to come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. A run here for J.D. McKissick. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
At the 36-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll be a pick. As they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
1st and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run with McKissick. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A carry now for McKissick. And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
This is the ball carrier.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 22-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And sometimes you have to serve as your own blitz control. And what I mean by that is there are going to be times when guys come free and are going to hit you when you're trying to throw the ball. He stood in there and took it and still completed it for a first down.
Well, yes, running back had vacated the area there, but able to complete it to him, still make a gain out of it.
I guess that's what we call a safety valve, and it worked pretty well.
Here's McKissick. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
This is the ball carrier.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Haskins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aaron Donald with a sack.
I'm shaking my head and chuckling a little bit now, although it's not funny for anyone trying to block Aaron Donald. But you know, all week long, they say to themselves, don't give up any sacks. And they just gave up one there. They double team him, they triple team him. They try and isolate and make sure that Aaron Donald can't get to their quarterback. And he always seems to find a way. He's not just a physical presence. He plays the game with a great football IQ.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
10. Washington 3.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. And you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
On 2nd down, Akers. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
The ball carrier. The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Greg Stroman back deep for Washington. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Complete to Trey Quinn. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the Rams' 27-yard line.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Haskins. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
His kick is no good.
Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the L.A. offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Out of the gun. Gone. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Los Angeles.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Goff on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
Goff.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5.
I remember covering Robert Woods in college at USC, and consistent was the word that was always used about him. Maybe we should have added dependable as well. Over 1,100 yards each of the last 2 seasons. This guy studied to be an NFL wide receiver while in college and has carried that over to the NFL. A pro's pro. This guy plays as hard as anyone in the league.
And almost intercepted. He could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down.
3rd down. And 5 yards to go.
3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Goff throwing again. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. The final shot before break here. Goff to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Tyler Higbee. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and goal.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Carolina. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdowns.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Haskins out of the gun. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And it's a big play there on 3rd down, but with the marker on the field, I don't think it's going to hold. Let's see. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Taken in at the 11. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery. Leading to a Washington touchdown.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small. Score and worry about getting the next one.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because If the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On second down now, Akers, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Made the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
A gain of 15.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
From the 50, it's Goff. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
To Robert Woods.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this is taken in at the 5. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Throwing again is Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Leads to second and goal.
Three yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. To the air again, Goff. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Washington, 3.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in the end zone, and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Out of bounds.
Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's good for a Washington.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
49-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, Haskins. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 36. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Haskins will throw. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowler, Jalen Ramsey. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10.
That's right, baby. It's all
and
me.
he will score. Touchdown, LA.
Los Angeles.
Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Will take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Washington offense set to take over. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. Now a dump off here complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of field. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That's good.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On first down, it's Haskins. Got a man, that's Quinn. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Washington, first
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Haskins looking to throw on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And they'll run it here. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. So here are the Rams to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Goff now looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Now Goff on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
22 yards.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A shotgun snap for Goff. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. 11 yards there, first down.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
First down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
From the red zone now, Goff eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Throwing now, Goff to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it's 3rd and short.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
Off play action to Akers. Here's Goff. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Cooper Kupp. Touchdown.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And the Rams have got it back.
Samson Ebuka. Jared Goff sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the Rams.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for L.A., their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they have...
That's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top of it. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. I can't hear the hate, got a lot of it. Take these bands to the bank, let them rot in it. So much ice on me, I wish I had 2 necks. I got homies that can sleep without Gucci and Chanel, I got a lot of it. Walk up in the spot like, hey, what poppin' in? Go pop it for me cause I'm rich and poppin' in, yeah. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big, get out my way, little bit. She gon' put it on me, that's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top of it. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big, get out my way, little bit. West LA, that where you find me though. Cha-cha matcha with a rockin' black clothes. Whip around the corner, 5-0. If you step to me, then be prepared for smoke, little bro. Let me feel myself a little bit. Let me blow this down a little bit. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit.
You should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation.